Okay, I believe we are live. Don't panic. Yes, it is just me today. It's okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to have a good time. I'm a little disheveled here because I just got a little bit of a scare, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. But if you saw the title for today's live stream, you see that I am still counting on, or I am still I'm adamant about speaking about what I wanted to speak about last week before we had the big giant meltdown that we did. Saw a couple of people in the chat. First of all, I need to make sure I get a check here because the numbers are going a little crazy. Look and sound good. Thank you, Furlough. Saw a couple of people comment in the chat before the stream started. What happened last week? What was going on? Where's the replay of it? Well, the reality is, last week was a disaster. That's what it was. And no, that has nothing to do with why Lisa's not here right now. She didn't leave me, folks. I promise. No, it's not that. Not at all. It's just one of those streams that I was like, you know what? It was fun. We had a good time. But I'm not going to keep it up because neither one of us looked good in that situation. We had both had rough days, and it was just like, hey, you know what? I'd rather just get rid of it and then move on. So now here we are, very excited to be here with you today to talk about what I wanted, or kind of what I started talking about last week, because I do really feel like it's an issue, and it's not just with our community. I think it's an issue across the board on the internet. But let's talk about a couple of real quick things here before we do that. First of all, you don't need to be watching the football game tonight. Come on, we've got this. And who cares about watching the Cowboys lose? At least that's what I hope happens anyway. But yeah, I think I'm going to give football a try this year, but not on Thursday nights, because it's my time to talk about fish with you. And you don't need to watch it either, because who cares? This is definitely more important. Now, I was putting together a little kind of like bullet points here, things that I wanted to mention for the stream and I didn't want to forget. And so one of the notes that I wrote down was kind of an announcement. It's something that I talked about last week. But then out of, kind of curiosity, I thought I would do a check, and I said, uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. What it is that I wanted to say, yes, I will. I have been asked to speak at Aquashella Dallas. It is official. It is happening. I don't know which day it's going to be. I don't know what time it's going to be, but that is happening in Dallas. Super excited about it. I've never been to Dallas, Texas before. Speaking of Cowboys, I'm excited about it because it's cool going somewhere I've never been before and meeting all of the cool people down there and doing the talk. I will be doing the same one that I did in Chicago, and I'm excited about that because I got a lot of really, really good feedback from that. And I want to do something here real quick. This is going to look weird, but I have to get something off of my lens. There we go. It was driving me crazy. You probably couldn't see it, but it was driving me nuts. And you can't use your finger because then it just puts a big smear across the lens. So anyway, Aquashella, Dallas, it is on. But the funny thing is, I said, you know what? Let me check the website real quick, the Aquashella website, and maybe it's on there. We'll have to see. I go on there and I see speakers are all on there. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. They're on top of things. They're getting things updated real early. This is awesome. And I scroll through and I'm not there. And I said, oh man, there's a lot of speakers on there. Maybe I got bumped. It's fine. I mean, if that had happened, I would have been like, yeah, you know what? That's a bummer, but it's okay. I've been able to do 2 talks. It was a blast. I loved it. And if that's the end of the run, then that's the end of the run. But I said, you know what? Let me message Sean. Sean Hale, one of the owners of Aquashella, messaged him and I said, hey, I just looked on the website and I'm not on there. Did I get bumped? Because I was just about to announce it on my live stream. This was literally 3 minutes before the live stream started. I said, am I not speaking? If I'm not, that's fine, but I just need to know. And he said, no, you definitely are. He's putting you on there tonight. I don't really know. It all happened so fast. I don't know what happened there, but it wasn't on there. But according to him, it will be on there tonight. If it doesn't get on there tonight, I'm not going to write a letter and complain and ask to speak to the manager. I was just speaking to the manager. But anyway, yeah, it is official. It is happening. Again, I don't know what day. I don't know what time or anything like that. Every talk I've done has been on Sundays. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of think I prefer it. But at the same time, when I do these talks, I don't stress out, folks. It's actually something I enjoy very much. I like getting up there and doing that. So I'm not really nervous. There was a little bit of nerves in Chicago, just barely. Oh, that's funny. He must be watching right now because he's, hey, Sean. When I'm getting ready to go up on stage, there was a tiny, tiny bit of nerves, but literally the second I put my foot on the stage, it was gone. But there's a huge relief when it's done. It's like, okay, whew, now I don't have to worry about anything, So it is kind of a huge relief. So I wouldn't complain if it was on Saturday, because then I would have the rest of the weekend to just relax. But if it's Sunday, that's fine too. Sundays are a little bit more laid back days at those shows. If you're curious to know what day you should go on, if you want it to be a little bit more laid back, a little less chaotic, Sunday is definitely the day for that. Saturday is awesome. I mean, it's a madhouse. There's just people everywhere. I like that. I think it's cool. The more, the merrier. But if you like it a little bit more laid back, then you would want to go on Sunday. I don't know when I'm going to be speaking. I'll check the website before we are done here tonight. And if it shows, then at least we'll know what day. I don't think the times would be listed on there yet. But anyway, that is official. Very, very excited about that. The other unfortunate, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's a family thing, so it's really not. I will not be going to the Keystone Clash. Planned on doing that. And then my niece planned on getting married that day, and it's a 5 o'clock wedding. So not going to be able to do the Keystone Clash, but I am making plans to go to the Ohio Cichlid Association show in November. Not going there as a speaker. They don't want me to do a talk there. I mean, they have all the super smart people do the talks there. That just made me look really stupid, but that's okay. I look stupid all the time anyway. They've got like scientists and stuff doing talks at that place. I would look like a fool even more than I do already. I'm going up there just to go up there and enjoy myself and hang out and see what's going on. And what I really want to do is, since I'm going to be in the state of Ohio, there's a few places that I would like to visit while I'm there. You'll have to talk amongst yourselves and see if you can't figure out what those 3 different places that I'd like to visit. One of them is one that most people in this chat probably will not guess. It is fish related, but it's maybe not what you're used to seeing from me. So you might not expect me to visit that place, but it's a place that I've wanted to go for like 5 years. So be excited to be able to go and do that. So yeah, hopefully that all works out, the OCA and visiting these other 3 places. Maybe I'll do a little vlog style video or something like that of that, since it would be so many different places. And I really regret not doing vlog style videos at Aquashella. I really should have done that. I'm not as good as at the spontaneous, on the fly, let's do something fun kind of thing. That's not really me. But anyway, before we get into the topic, and I'm not really prepared for the topic, I'm just going to kind of wing it, and we're going to have some fun together. We're going to talk about this because this is definitely something that all of us can relate to, and you will certainly I'm sure, have your own opinions about it. Yes, everybody's guessing it. Flip Aquatics, as well as the Ohio Fish Rescue. Talked to Rich today, talked to Rob today. Those are a done deal. The third one is Tidal Gardens. Than Thane, who is also going to be a speaker at Aquashella. He is a friend of mine. He was a guest on my live stream like 5 years ago. Really good dude. And I got to go see that new building that he built. It looks like the most magnificent building that's ever been built in fish keeping. And I have to see it in person. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Tidal Gardens is the channel. His building is magnificent. It looks like something that doesn't belong in our world. It's too nice. It looks like a executive office building, but there's aquariums everywhere. It's really, really cool. I want to see that in person. I think it's about 25 minutes away from the event. So yeah, that'll be very cool. Now, I want to tell you about a celebrity encounter I had the other day, exactly 1 week ago tomorrow. And this was something cool. And it was, again, something that I regret not doing anything about it, because this is somebody that I've been a fan of my entire life. And as he walked away, I thought, oh, I just missed such a huge opportunity. But nothing to do with fish keeping. Sorry. Going to take a very quick little detour, and then we will get into the topic. Daughter and I went to the Nats game last Friday. They lost. You know, it is what it is. That's kind of what's happening now with the Nats. But enjoyed myself. It was a great time. The game was a lot of fun, even though they didn't win. But we went down, and it was getting towards the end of the game. It was the ninth inning, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go down and let's stand near home plate. Obviously not all the way down there. You know what I mean? Like on the concourse near home plate, because that's where we parked. And I said, as soon as the game's over, we can just bounce right on out of here. So we're standing there. The ninth inning is coming to a close, and we're standing right next to the like high-end seats that are super expensive right behind home plate. But we're standing in the concourse, and I see this guy, and he's 50 yards away. Instantly, I knew who it was. I said, oh my, no way. This is not happening. Now, again, there's probably a lot of young people listening here. Papa Shrimp is with us tonight. He's certainly not a member of that young crowd, but he's a guy that I know is interested in the same kind of music that I am. So he might get a kick out of this. And some of my friends in here tonight that are, why don't we say over the age of 30, will be like, oh man, that would have been so cool. But younger than that, maybe, who knows? We'll have to see. But I see this guy, and I knew my daughter will know who this guy is. My daughter's 22. I knew she would know who he was, but she might not recognize him in person. And so I said, hey, you see that guy coming up the stairs right there? Pay attention to that guy. Look at that guy. Remember that guy. And she's like, Dad, you're weird. What are you talking about? And I'm like, just trust me. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but just look at that guy right there. That one right there. So he's walking up, and he walks, like brushes up against me. It's like walks right by. And as he walks by, he kind of looks at me, and he knows I'm staring at him. He knows. I mean, I'm like, he knows that. And he walks by, and he just goes, gave me a little nod, basically like, hey, I know you know who I am, and I'm really happy that you're not making a big deal out of it. Thank you. That was the vibe that I got from it. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. And Rob Thomas, he's of Rob Thomas. He does his solo thing now. Matchbox 20 is a band that I was a huge fan of in the 90s, still am to this day. The song Back to Good is on my playlist of must listen to songs all the time. One of my favorite songs of all time. And that was super, super, super cool to just have him walk by. That was awesome. I don't go all goo goo gaga over celebrities. But that was a big one. That was a big one for me. Because I've been a fan of him for many, many, many years. And my daughter, she's a fan of him from the song Little Wonders. And there's a lot of kind of more modern songs that he's done that she was like, when he was gone, I was like, that was Rob Thomas. And she was like, what? And she freaked out. And I was like, she's like, I've got to go. And I'm like, no, you will not go and harass him. He's a man with his old lady at a baseball game. He's not Rob Thomas right now. You need to let him go. And so she didn't do it. But that was a big thrill for me. So anyway, let's get on here with this. If you joined us last week, I'm over 60 and never heard of him. That doesn't surprise me. He is a guy that is, okay, there's a good one. Oinkmaster brings up one of the probably biggest songs that he was involved in was Smooth with Santana. We're going to get a lot of Matchbox 20 stuff. That's really cool. It's awesome. But stop distracting me, because I could talk about Rob Thomas all day long. But last week we talked about this. I think I just totally got off track. But this was something that came through in our comments section. And if you were with us last week, you were probably going to be like, okay, he's already said all of this. But I want to put it all out there. I'm sitting here reading Furlough Aquatics is... I got to move the chat. Otherwise, I keep getting distracted. I do want to kind of qualify everything and give you a good, clear understanding of my views on this, because I'm not dumping on this particular person, even though I actually have gone back and looked, and he's said some other nasty things, but he's also said some very positive things in our comment section. So I'm fine with the dude. I don't have a problem with the dude. But what I have a problem with is the gist of what he did. And I'm looking at somebody right now that has Bob Ross as their avatar. Did you watch that documentary on Netflix? I'm going to be honest, I kind of wish I hadn't. It made me very sad. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a documentary about Bob Ross. Love Bob Ross. Grew up with him in my living room, my mother obsessing over him. So for last week, when I wanted a topic, I went to the comment section of our videos. And there's Lisa in the chat. She will be entertaining you today in the chat. The comment section is somewhere I will go if I need a topic. Not really for videos, but for the streams. And if I don't see anything right away, then I'll go to the held for review section of the comments, which is basically, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel like I did last week. Everybody don't freak out. But this is where comments that YouTube has said, I don't know about this one, they will send them to the held for review section, which gives the creator the opportunity to look at those comments and say, nope, don't want that in there. Or yeah, go ahead and let it through. It's no big deal. And this is where I found this one. And it was for language, I guess. Well, it said blocked words. Just like I told you last week, the reason why I'm telling you this is because when I pull up these comments, because I'm going to show you the comments, you're going to see blocked words. And so people are going to see that word blocked and they're going to think, oh, John deleted this guy. No, I didn't. The system deleted him. Didn't delete him, but just put him in there for me to review to decide whether or not I want to allow those to be public or not. And I think I did make them public because I don't have an issue with people disagreeing with me. I don't. I really don't care. I don't lose any sleep over that at all. But I have an issue with the general theme, which we'll get to. I didn't get a chance to get to it last week because that wife of mine, but no, I was a jerk during that too. So let's start off with this first one. This is, I'm not going to put it right over my face, but I also have to open it up because that's too small for me to see. This is something that was put up on a video that I did almost 2 years ago about the Marineland canister filter, which was a filter that I liked a lot and still had running in the fish room until I don't know how long ago it was. We stopped using it because Lisa set up a sorority in that tank and it was blowing them around too much. And so we shut it down and switched it to sponge filters. But here's the guy's comment. As far as I'm concerned, you can't honestly review a product like this until you have been using it for a while, let alone say you like it. Disagree. I've been doing this for a long time. I can tell right away whether I like something or not. That's just being a salesman. Got to keep those corporate sponsors happy, though. Now, don't we? It's crap, and you know it's crap. I bet if came and checked out all your tanks, I wouldn't be able to find it running any of your tanks. Now, not a big deal, right? I mean, this comment isn't anything earth-shattering. The reason why it's up there is because this guy put up 3 comments. I wanted to go in full transparency here. I didn't want there to be any, oh, you neglected to put the 3rd one up there. You know what I'm saying? The internet is what the internet is. So you have to make sure you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. First of all, I paid for that filter. I paid with my own money. Nobody asked me to make that video. Nobody paid me to make that video. And nobody sent me any products for free to do that video. I've actually done this with a lot of products. I have a series of videos that I did about hang on the back filters. I purchased every single one of those off with my own money. I've got a bunch of canister filter reviews. Again, all my own money. This is how I make my living. So if I need a video to do, I have no problem going and buying a filter to do a review on. I haven't had to do that in a long time, but if I have to do that, then I have to do that. It's cost of doing business kind of thing. So this was not sent to me. Marineland has sent me products before, but not this one. That one I paid for on my own, and I'll show you my Amazon records if you don't believe me. Yes, I bought it off that devil of a company. Don't judge me. It was a long time ago. The others I actually bought at Petco. Wait a minute. All of the hang on the back filters except the Seachem Title, which happens to be one that I sell now, but did not sell then. I bought all of those. The Title I ordered off of Amazon. Ugh, bad guy. But all the others I bought at PetSmart or Petco. And I told you wrong a second ago. I didn't order any of the canisters off of Amazon. I bought them all at PetSmart or Petco. So I have no way of proving that. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I bought that filter. It is what it is. And it is still sitting underneath Lisa's 75-gallon tank downstairs that has a sorority in it right now. You would see that. Come on over and you can see it. It's still there. Let's get on to the second one. I think this one was even less, dare I say, controversial. It's really the last one that kind of got on my last nerve, but it's not a feelings thing. You just have to work with me here. Same video, same guy. You're not to blame. The filter is garbage. It is funny. I made my first comment before watching the video, then saw there was already a part missing. Rubber foot. Go figure. Like I said in previous comment, it's a piece of crap. Don't buy this product or you will be disappointed, to say the least. P.S. You will never have to prime an FX series filter. It's true. I mean, the FX series is about as good as it gets as far as canister filters go. I'm not going to argue with the guy there. Again, this comment, not all that controversial. None of these are really controversial, but you'll get what I'm saying in a minute. But it's the whole thing is what I'm getting at here that will make more sense why this is something that bothers me. But we got to get through all 3 of the comments first before I can do that. So let's get to the long one. And this is the one where he went all in with this one. I might have to cover up my face. I'm just going to cover up my entire face with this one because it's a big one. I'm going to read through it real quick and then I will get to the point of what I'm trying to make with all this. I bought a Marineland canister filter once. It was a piece of crap. I would never make this mistake or that mistake again. Like they say, you get what you pay for. How many more cliches can... Anyway, most small filters like this one are just junk, pure garbage. If you're going to buy one of these things, I would highly suggest you buy 2 of them so you have a spare on hand. You will need it. Save yourself the headache and stay clear of this crap. I think it might be the word crap that got him blocked. I might have crap. I don't know why I put crap in the blocked words. Anyway, spend a little extra money and get yourself a reliable canister filter like something in the Fluval FX series. As for the question, is this the best aquarium filter? The answer is, heck no, not even close. I would rather use a sponge filter than waste my time with that garbage. The only thing that filter is good for is giving you a wallet biopsy. That's the thing that kind of threw me last week. Like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds gross. If you're serious about fish keeping, if you're serious about your fish keeping hobby and are looking for a canister filter, then you should be looking at the FX5 or the FX6. Just keep it real, folks. Been there, done that. They say if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're just plain stupid. You're just plain stupid. And I would agree. Yeah, I won't make that mistake again. They call me Billy Tucker, not silly effer. Cheers. That was charming. P.S. When a seasoned fish keeper like John says, I have used them, then that should tell you something right there. I wish I was able to say I've never used one. Live and learn, I guess. Folks, I don't think this guy likes that filter. I don't think he likes the Marineland MagnaFlow filter. At least I didn't think he did until I saw another comment on his video, on one of my videos, where he kind of praised it. He said he didn't like it, but he said it filtered the water well. I don't remember where that is. I should have screenshotted that. It could have kind of made this a little more funny, but I didn't. Anyway, none of that matters. Here's my point to all of this. First of all, nobody paid me to do anything. I've never received money to do a product review. Have I received money to talk about a product? Yes. API I worked with a couple of years ago, and API, that's it. And that was a no-brainer because I use those products anyway. And I didn't really do a review. I did a demonstration of how to do them. It was a cycling video. Yeah, I've done like 25 cycling videos. But there's never been somebody that has said, if I send you this filter, will you do a good review for it? And we'll pay you. That's never happened. And it wouldn't happen because for one, I don't need your money. And for two, I would feel dirty about being bought. I mean, you know, hey, everybody's got to make a living, but I can't get you to pay me to say that I like something. If I like a product, I genuinely like it. Now, I am someone that is very easy to please. Don't make any weird jokes about that. I don't look to hate things. Have I had bad experiences with products? Of course, we all have. Will that make me turn against that brand, or will that make me go on the internet and go on ridiculous rants in the comment section of videos talking about how much I despise that product? Absolutely not, especially not 2 years later. And that is kind of my whole thing with this. This is where our world has gone. And I wasn't able to talk about this last week because, you know, Lisa and I got into a big knockdown, drawn out fight, and I didn't get to do it. But here's my point with all this. We have all gotten so lazy. I said we. I'm not saying you. I said we. I'm putting myself in here. That we're sitting around looking through the internet to find things that we don't like so that we can comment on those things and say that we don't like them. This is a phenomenon that I do not understand. I've never in my life ever once done anything like that. I'm not saying the guy is a bad guy. I think he's somebody that distorts the truth a little bit because he says he's been in the hobby for decades, yet he types like a 20-year-old. Came out of the womb breeding guppies, I guess. But that guy is insignificant when it comes to this. And I didn't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying it's not just this guy that does this. It's everywhere. And I don't care if people go on my videos or anybody's videos and disagree with me. I literally, my ego doesn't exist when it comes to my opinion. I do not care. If I love something and you hate it, we can still be friends. It's really not a big deal. This is why I don't talk about politics with people and all that kind of stuff. I mean, unless I know we're on the same page and we're not going to fight. I don't bring it up because I don't want it. I don't want to cause tension with people. And I don't want their opinions about things to sway the way I feel about them, because I think that's wrong. If they disagree with me with something, one of the political issues or something like that, that's fine. We can still be friends. We don't need to fight about it. We don't need to go crazy about it. And again, we certainly don't need to go online and rage about it in the comment section of videos. I just think that's foolish. And I think there's so many things that we could do better with our time. Does Long John Silver's still exist? I don't know if it does or not. I went to Long John Silver's in like 1993 and I ate dinner there and I got violently ill from that. One of the worst experiences of my life. It was horrifying. I never went back to that restaurant. Could you blame me? But never once until now, in front of over 500 people, never once have I ever disparaged that company publicly or anything like that. And I'm not disparaging them now. I don't even know if they're still in business. I don't know. I haven't seen one in a long time. I think the last time I saw one, it was like connected to another restaurant. I don't remember what that restaurant was, but who cares? Whether or not they're still in business means nothing to me because I won't go there anyway. I've never in my life ever told anyone not to go there. I've never gone online and typed up a mean thing about... Why? Because what's that going to do? It serves no purpose to do something like that. I've never... Like, the example would be if I'm scrolling through YouTube and I find a video that is a review of Long John Silver's. I don't like Long John Silver's. So why would I click on that video? Unless it is to go on there and tell everybody how much I hate Long John Silver's. Which I don't hate them. Because, yeah, I was vomiting all night long and it was horrifying. It gives me nightmares to think about that place. But I don't care if you like it. And I'm not going to tell you not to go there. I don't live that way. That's not something that motivates me. So I'm not going to click on that Long John Silver's video, which I don't even know if it exists. If it does, that'd be kind of funny. But somebody reviewing Long John Silver's, I'm not going to click on that video knowing I hate that to type up that comment. Where this applies to our industry is I do product reviews a lot, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's my favorite videos to do. I've got a few that I haven't done yet, but I'm going to be doing here very soon. They're products that I've used a million times, not products that I sell on our website, but they're products that are very, very common, particularly with new fish keepers. And I want to do reviews of those products for those new fish keepers that are thinking about maybe going into this and getting that product for when they first get started. I love doing those videos so much, and I'll never stop doing them. And there are people that go into the comments and they say those things like, how much did they pay you to do this and all that? I don't mind those. I mean, it is what it is. We live in the world of the internet, so everybody kind of expects that. I did a review of the FX6 in 2013, and people were saying that back then. So that's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to get away from that. So I don't mind that part of it. What bothers me is when I do a product review. Let's say I do a product review of this knife. And the thumbnail is me like this. That's not a bad thumbnail right there, isn't it? So Lefty would be so disappointed with this knife. It's not as flashy as his knives, but this is my daily carry. It was a gift from my daughter for my birthday, so give me a break. I love it. So if you saw this thumbnail, all focused in, looking beautiful, it won't focus now. It just wants to focus on me. And you saw that and you said, you know, I've had that knife and I hate that knife. You would think that you would skip that video. Like, why do I want to watch a video about a product that I hate? I know I hate this product. Why would I watch a video on that? But people do. And that's my problem. Because the only reason they do that is to dump on that product. It doesn't matter if it's a product that I sell. It doesn't matter if it's, I mean, this happens most on products I don't sell. Which is weird. I don't know. But, you know, I don't sell the Marine Land canister filter. So it doesn't hurt my feelings that this guy doesn't like that filter. What hurts my feelings is that you are so desperate, not just that guy, but anybody that does this kind of stuff. You're so desperate for something to do that you will spend a half an hour watching a video. That video was 20 something minutes long. And then he had to have spent a good half an hour typing up those long messages. Don't you realize there's better things you could have done? And what were you trying to accomplish when you made that comment? I don't know about you, but there has never once been this scenario in my life. I'm looking for a knife. Oh, Peter McKinnon did a review of this knife. He hasn't, but I'm just saying, let me check that out. Never once have I seen a video review about a product and then said, let me see what they're saying in the comments section. I've never done that. I've never looked at it and said, well, you know, Peter McKinnon was talking about this knife. He collects knives. It's a beautiful knife. That's gorgeous. I might want to get one of those for myself. But let me see. What are they saying down in the comment section? Oh, Big Belly 1269. He doesn't like that knife. He thinks that knife is trash. He thinks it's junk. The hinge is loose on it. The locking mechanism is really difficult. Forget it. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it because, what did I say his name was? Big Belly 1269. He doesn't like it, so I'm out. I got to find a different one. I've literally never done that. I've also never watched a review of a product that the reviewer didn't like, but then went down the comment section and said, well, let me see if somebody down there likes it, because then maybe I'll get it. No, I'm not there to see what all of their opinions are. I'm there to see what that person's opinion is. If I disagree with that person's opinion, I'm not going to waste the time commenting about that. Surely not 3 of them. Yes, and don't call me Shirley. What movie is that from? I'm surely not going to spend all of that time typing up that comment. It's not worth my time. There's so many other things. Nothing wrong with big bellies, Rico. I got a nice hefty one myself. I'm working on it. I'm proud of it. That's a man's belly right there. How dare you look at the chat, John? There's so many more valuable things that we could be doing with our time, and I don't understand what the goal behind that is. If you're going on there to express your negative opinion, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen from that? Are you going to be that guy that changes the world and all of a sudden Marineland goes out of business because Big Belly 1269 doesn't like their product? Do you think that's going to happen? Marquez Brownlee could talk negatively about their products and it wouldn't put them out of business. I love Marcus Brownlee. That kid's a god. He's awesome. And I'm so jealous of his studio. But it doesn't matter who it is. The biggest names in the world, if they don't like your product, it's not gonna shut them down. So what are you trying to accomplish? It just seems like the biggest waste of time that you could ever have. You could be doing so much more. Instead, like, the main psychology behind it that bothers me is, I hate that product, so let me watch that video. That doesn't make sense. Why? Why would you do that? Again, I'm not trying to protect myself or protect anybody who's done videos about airplanes. A bunch of people got it. Good job. I'm all over the place when I do these myself. See, Lisa might have made me mad last week, but she keeps me straight in these. I don't go back and forth and do all of that. But if you know you hate it, then your only purpose was negativity. That's the only agenda that you could have there. I mean, I understand Facebook is terrible. I understand that I can't be on Facebook for longer than 5 minutes, because if it's not photos of abused animals or ads constantly, I don't know if there's a Facebook premium, but I would pay for it if they had it, because every third thing is an ad for some nonsense. But there's also a lot of people that express their political opinions, and I don't have an issue with that. I don't care where you stand politically. You put that up there, that's fine. I might read it and I'll move on. I understand that, like, if you talk about one of the hot button issues, that might spark somebody and set them off, and they want to let you know that they disagree with you. I don't do that, but I kind of understand why somebody would do that. I do not understand, if you see a product that you dislike, why you would click on that just to tell everybody how much you don't like it. To me, that, I don't care if it's the fish keeping industry. I don't care if it's the soda industry. I don't care what it is. Knives, nicotine, gum, doesn't matter to me what it is. If you're going on there to just talk about how much you despise that product, I just feel like there's something better you could be doing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe it bothers me more than it should. It doesn't bother me from a personal standpoint. It bothers me because I just don't understand it. That gets me. Particularly in this hobby, where this industry is doing well. I mean, the circumstances of the last year have certainly benefited the aquarium hobby, because everybody's locked in their houses, or they were, and they needed something to do. But, you know, a lot of these places are like on that razor's edge of whether they keep going or whether they... And so, I don't know, maybe I'm overly sensitive and protective of our industry. I don't care if people don't like products. That doesn't bother me. Like I said, I've done a lot of reviews for products that we do carry on our website. People express negative opinions about those products there. I'm not bothered by that. The only time I will delete something is if it's the product being blamed for something it had nothing to do with. I'm not going to give details because I don't want to call anybody out in particular, but there was one that was put up recently where a filter was blamed for the demise of a fish. And I struggled with that one. I was like, no, this is just not right, because the filter didn't kill the fish. It's the example that I would use. I had a fish pass in my 240 last week, and it was unfortunate. It was a very, very old fish, and I knew it was coming. I was prepared, and it did pass. When we found that fish after it had passed, it had been picked apart like savages had just completely annihilated this fish, and it was literally like bones. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people that have messaged me, the fish killed this other fish. And I know that because I walked in the room and they were pecking on it, and they were eating that fish, and it was horrifying, and they had to have killed this fish. No, I mean, they could have, but what could have happened is the fish could have died. And if there is a dead fish in the tank, all of the other fish are going to go eat that fish. It's nature. It's what happens. And in almost every tank in existence, that happens. So I'm not going to blame the fish for killing that fish. More likely, maybe it was beat up. Who knows? More than likely, that fish died for whatever reasons. And then the other fish in the tank looked at it as a opportunity to get a little extra calories. And filters are the same way. What you'll find is people will say, my filter's too strong. My guppy died and I found it. The filter must have killed the fish because I found it stuck to the intake tube. No, I mean, an Oscar, those fish probably weigh 1.5 pounds. Stuck to a filter intake, probably wouldn't find that. But small tetras, guppies, betas, even my yellow labs, small fish, it's not uncommon for them to be bobbing around their carcass, one of my least favorite words. I don't dislike that word more than I dislike the word corpse. Oh, I watch a lot of true crime on YouTube, and the word corpse just, oh God. Whenever I die, please don't ever let anyone refer to my body as a corpse. That's horrifying. But you could see a fish carcass or corpse stuck up against the filter. It doesn't mean the filter killed your fish. You got your little guppy. They literally weigh nothing. I just inappropriately used the word literally. You know what I mean. They weigh next to nothing. Filters are going to be strong enough for them to suck them into it, as weird as that sounded. It doesn't mean the filter killed your fish. If your fish is dead and the carcass is laying on the substrate and your pleco is on top of it going to town on it, and it's done ripped the whole slime coat off of that fish and it sucked its eyeballs out, and I know I'm getting graphic here, but just annihilated that fish, it doesn't mean the pleco killed your fish. So something like that, I will not let those through, whether it's one of our products that we sell on the website or something that I don't. If I see something that is obviously not the product's fault, then I won't let that through. There was one, I just saw it. What was it? I was looking through the comments today because I just, before I made the decision that I was going to talk about this again, I didn't make that decision until Lisa said she wasn't streaming with me tonight. But I saw another one. Oh man, I forget what it was, but I think it was that the person had said Prime killed their fish. I used to use tap water. No, it's not that. I don't remember what it was. It was something to do with Prime. I don't remember. And shame on me. I'm sitting here with dead air trying to remember what that was. But it was so outrageous. It was, now, I mean, you pour a whole bottle of Prime in a tank, you can do some damage. But this person was like, I only use RO water because Prime killed my fish one time. And it was like, I was thinking, well, maybe if you hadn't poured the entire bottle in your 10-gallon tank, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But that kind of stuff I won't let through. If somebody expresses an opinion that is different than mine, I don't have a problem letting that through. I don't even see it unless they use foul language. I mean, we get so many comments on our channel, and that's not a flex. I'm just saying it's a lot. I don't get through looking at every single one of them. And so if opinions that differ from mine bothered me, I would have quit YouTube a long time ago, because that is a constant thing. I don't mind negative opinions, or I shouldn't say negative, because just because they're different from mine doesn't mean they're negative. I don't mind disagreements. I do mind when there's time wasted. You wasted time typing up that comment to talk about how much you hated a product, and it's not going to change anything. I promise you, there's not somebody that saw my video and said, you know, John did a great job with that. I really like that filter. I think I'm going to pick one up. They're really cheap now. They're only like $85 for a really good size canister filter. I'm getting it. But no. This guy here, Kosis or whatever his name is, oh, he had a bad experience, so forget it. John doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not getting that filter anymore. Let me go spend $250 more to get the FX6. I love the FX6, but and I would not disagree that it's one of the best filters on the market. But it's also one of the most expensive. And I understand that a lot of people can't get those. And you know what? If you can't afford $330 on sale for a big giant filter like that, but you can afford $90 for that Marineland, I say good for you. And that's who I made that video for. I wasn't trying to convince somebody to buy that over the FX6. I was just saying, hey, look, this is the filter. This is what it does. This is what I like about it. This is what I don't like about it. Make your decision. I promise your comment did not sway anyone away from buying that filter. And that's not my ego talking. That's just common sense. Because I would ask you, how many times have you done that? How many times have you watched somebody that you appreciate and you respect their opinion, and you've watched their video and said, I really like this video, but that one guy in the comments, he's completely changed my mind about this. Doesn't happen. Doesn't exist. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. So rather than do that, if you're so adamant about wasting all this time typing on your computer, why don't you go to somebody that has a problem and try to help them through that problem? I realize a lot of times that can go bad. I get it. I get messages a lot on Facebook, which I ignore. But they're messages from people that say, somebody was mean to me in the Tank Talk group. And they'll say, can you ban them? Get rid of them. And I'll go there. And it's true. The guy was mean, it's usually guys. Rarely women. The guy was nasty. But when you look at the whole thing, you see he's trying to help. But he's somebody that's not very good at expressing himself in words that don't make him sound like a jerk. I know people like that. I know people that when they text, they seem like complete jerks. But when you talk to them in person, they're the sweetest person in the world. It's like, dude, you sound so mean in your texts and you don't even know it. Some people are like that. And this is a guy that was trying to help you out. And because he wasn't saying what you want him to say, which is, hey, you're doing everything right. It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Will, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. If you hear anything but that, then you want to panic. And then you want to message the owner of the group and get this person banned. It's nonsense. I can't stand it. And so that's why I ignore those. I've seen some that are legitimate and we've taken action on them. But a lot of them are people that just heard what they didn't want to hear. And so they pitch a fit. So I understand guy who said mean things about that filter. I understand it can be difficult helping people online sometimes. But maybe give it a try. Maybe give it a try and you'll find yourself not as miserable as you are right now. Because you obviously are. And I'm concerned about you. You're obviously miserable because I don't know if your old lady's not being nice to you or something. I don't know. I don't know what your deal is, but you're obviously not a happy person. Maybe if you were to use the Dave Ramsey method of, paying it forward, be generous to somebody. Maybe that'll help you through that rather than just being so negative all the time. And again, I'm not mad at that guy. I'm not mad at him. I'm just confused about his priorities. There you go. I got to say all of it without being interrupted by that mean person that usually sits directly across the table from me. She's beautiful though, so she kind of gets away with it. I didn't even ask the movie reference, and Jeff H. knew. He said, before John says it, I'm going to say Good Will Hunting. Good job, Jeff. You and I are on the same page. All right. Let me go through a couple of these real quick, and then we'll see if Lisa has something for me in the chat. I know how weird that sounded, but I meant like she was supposed to screenshot and send me some texts of some good questions maybe that she wanted me to answer. Not that they're not all good, but, can't get them all. Look how fast it's going. Multi-Tank Addiction pooped on us. Thank you so much, Chris. He does that every week. He makes a point to do that. Pompeii Ranch, so glad you are finishing this. I hope you're not disappointed, Pompeii Ranch, because I know it was a bit ranty. I don't like defining my own conversations with myself as rants. I think you have to call them a rant. I don't know. Like if I put rant in the title, Michael's Fish Room does that all the time. And I'm always like, Mike, why do you do that? He's the pro of rants. Michael is the ranter of ranters. But I feel like that's a viewer described thing, not something that I would do. But anyway, I hope it was worth your time. And hopefully people will stop wasting their time doing what that guy did. Tesla Killdozer. Hey, John, looking forward to the live chat tonight. I got my order of Extremes Flakes from you the other day. Nice. Perfect. And thank you for the 703. I love it. Fun fact, I grew up in the 703 area code. So Tesla Killdozer, you're kind of freaking me out now. You're not. I'm joking. But it's true. 703 is like the Prince William County area, Fairfax County, the one you hear about on the news, like Loudoun County and all of that. Their school board meetings that you hear all about. I grew up in that area code, but it's a huge 703 area code. Anyway, Furloughs Aquatics, happy Thursday. Picked up a lemon jake and fluorescent peacock today. The colors on that lemon jake are straight fire. Two of my absolute favorite fish. If I had to pick one, I don't think I could do it because I love the dominant color of the yellow on the fluorescent. And I love lemon jakes. Two awesome peacocks. Well done. Good pickup. Jeff H. pooped on us. He sent through I saw him. He guessed Good Will Hunting and he pooped on us. Wow, what a night it is for Jeff H. Melissa Jeswald, is your Chicago presentation online? It is not. I think I may have touched on this a couple of weeks ago, Melissa, but the audio, we filmed it, but the audio was all janky. It was all bad. And I was going to put it up for members, of which you would have had access to, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot in Dallas. I'm going to do the same talk. It'll be the second time, so I might be able to add a few things to it. Maybe be a little better. I mean, you're going to get better each time, right? So maybe it'll be a little bit better, and we can get the audio straight. And I'll put it up then. But the audio kept cutting in and out because I recorded the audio separately from the events audio because I thought it would sound better, and it did, but it kept cutting out. So I got to get that fixed, and then I'll put it up for Dallas. Fish Fan 20 Gallon Long, just wanted to thank you for all the support and advice, wisdom you share with us on the live stream and in your many videos you've produced. You are very welcome. Thank you for those kind words. That's a beautiful thing. Never gets tired hearing that. I never get tired of hearing that. Catwoman VA, I'm 38 and super stoked. I got front row seats to what's left of the Monkeys in Atlantic City next month. I love me some Mike Nesmith, R.I.P. Davey and Peter. Wow. Yeah, that is really cool. I'm not a huge Monkeys fan. I'm 10 years older than you, 9 years older than you. I can't math on live streams. But I do like them. There's a lot of bands that I would love to go see that are not whole right now. And I didn't mean that like the Courtney Love band. I didn't mean for it to sound there's a lot of bands not named whole that I would go see. Anyway, remind me to tell you about the Korn Copycat Band. at the end of the live stream tonight. I don't want to scare everybody away, but I found an interesting thing the other day, stumbled upon something interesting that I want to talk about. These better be good, Lisa, because Wendy Hamlet, I'm assuming it's the one on the top. I guess I am new enough back in the hobby that I think that there are smarter folks than me that have tested and used said products. Why spend the energy hating? Exactly. I mean, I used to have a vaping channel, still do, but I haven't uploaded to it in 2 years, and it's just not really a thing anymore. I used to get sent products all the time with that channel. And there were a lot of products I never reviewed. You know, they send them for the purposes of review. And there were a lot of products that I didn't review because I just thought they were terrible. And I would rather spend the time reviewing products that I liked rather than the ones that I didn't like. I'm not going to waste as many hours as it takes to make a video just to talk badly about a product. And I would definitely not do that with fish keeping products. I get emails every single day. If you're a YouTuber, you probably get them too. I mean, everybody gets emails all the time. I have this new product. It's going to change the industry. It's the best thing in the world. They have no idea who I am. They just know it's a YouTube channel. And so they send, you know, would you want to review this product for us? And I can look at the picture and I just automatically would be like, nope, because it looks like garbage and I'm not interested in that. So I'm not going to do a review of a product that I can't stand. Okay, now this is weird. This makes no sense at all, and it has to be Bob Steenfott, because Bob is the only person that would put this kind of time into it. Somebody literally, and I used the word literally correctly there, literally created a Big Belly 1269 account. Whoever that is, I say this to you, my friend. Well done. That's beautiful. And that's amazing. That's funny. But again, it has to be Bob Steenfott. I just can't think of anybody else that would do that. But down with the belly fear. This is great. I need to know who that is. I need a hacker to figure out who that is, because that's hilarious, and I want to give them props. Has to be Bob. Not because Bob has a big belly. I don't mean that. I don't think Bob has a belly. But because Bob's the only one I know that would do that. Maybe you sent this one through Lisa. Zeus, I'm just going to say Zeus. Can I get some advice on what I can add to my 150? I have a timid Oscar, an electric blue Jack Dempsey, a common pleco, and a blue orchid peacock. Ooh, have people given you crap about that yet? There's going to be people that are going to give you crap about the peacock. It's just going to happen. I'm not one of those guys. Why? Because I know that there's rule books, but then there's not rule books. There's rule books, and then there's people who like to break the rules that are listed in the rule books. And every single book out there would tell you, you don't mix peacocks with Oscars or Jack Dempseys, because they are whatever. But I've seen it done. A good friend of mine lives in Chicago, has a bald head like mine, has a beautiful woman wife. I don't know why that just got weird, but of course it's his wife, like woman, wife. Anyway, and I was just at their house a few weeks ago that has had that. And it's no longer like that anymore because whatever, but it wasn't the fish's fault that he broke them apart, but it is what it is. But he had Oscars, he had a tilapia in the tank, he had a bunch of peacocks, and the interesting thing about it is we're talking about Goliath Oscars. I'm talking about Jason from Primetime Aquatics, folks, if you haven't figured that out yet. He had full-grown Oscars and peacocks that were breeding, and there were fry in there that big the Oscar wouldn't touch them. Neither of the Oscars would touch them. But every single rule book on planet Earth would tell you that you can't mix them together. I'm not going to tell you should. I feel obligated to tell you you're taking a risk if you put those together. But anyway, what would I add to that? I would add 2 more Oscars. You daggone right. Because of course I would add 2 more Oscars. I mean, come on. Look at what I've got. 150 gallon is a glorious sized aquarium, and I love that. It's one of my favorites. And you can put, a couple more heavy hitters in there. I would go with more Oscars just because I'm extremely biased, and you knew that's what I was going to say. So you're welcome. I've also had good success with, good night, Papa Shrimp. Am I going to see you in Dallas? I'm pretty sure you live out there, because I know Jason does, the other Jason, and I know you and him are in business together. Are we going to see you in Dallas? Didn't get to see you in Chicago. So anyway, blood parrots I've also had good success with Oscars. And you already have it, Jack Dempsey's. I think the Jack Dempsey Oscar combo is great. So yeah, you're already on the right track. Twins, hi there. I'm facing issues with my ammonia in my tank. It's 55 gallon with about 53 fish. It's a community tank, and I've been doing water changes roughly every other day for 3 weeks, and it won't go down. 53 fish is a lot. I mean, I don't care if it's guppies. That's a lot. Maybe not guppies. What's the score of the football game? Somebody put it up in the chat for me. It doesn't matter if it spoils it for anybody. Who cares about them? Juan Soto just hit a single. That's all that really matters. 53 fish sounds like a lot to me. You say community fish. There's a lot of community fish that are this big. And then there's a lot of community fish that are, people would put giant danios and large tiger barbs and rainbows. They would put all of those as community fish. They're bigger. So 53 fish sounds like a lot to me. It sounds like your issue is the bacteria just can't keep up. 7-7. Okay, that's fine. Tom's got a slow start. Yeah, he's 59 years old. I mean, slow start in the beginning of the season. I get it. But it sounds like what you have there is you've just got too much going on in that tank, and the bacteria hasn't had the opportunity to catch up. Doing water changes. Did you watch my video the other day? Because that will give you a really good understanding of how the bacteria works. A lot of people, we would get these questions all the time in person at our fish store when we had it. We don't have it anymore. All the people that message me all the time, are you guys open? No, we haven't been since 2015. They say, yeah, I've been doing water changes, just like Twins just said, doing water changes. But what are those water changes? Are you doing a heavy gravel vac? Are you cleaning everything? Are you taking it all the way down and scrubbing? And because a lot of people would call that a water change. I call that a breakdown of the tank and starting over. They're all quite small, platies, mollies, tetras, etc. And yes, I watched the video, but still having trouble. So you understand the premise of what you're trying to do here. And it just sounds like with that many fish in there, you're struggling to allow the bacteria to catch up. What I would do is do exactly what you're doing the water changes, just doing the gravel vac and the water changes. Now in the video, I said do only water changes, but that's not a tank stocked with 53 fish in it. If you don't gravel vac, you will never get this problem solved because you have 53 fish in there that are pooping and eating. You're probably putting a lot of food in there. And so the ammonia is just taking over. The bacteria is not getting a chance to catch up. So what I would do is feed. I know this is going to be hard for you to do, twins. I know. But please feed about half what you're feeding now. Even a little bit less. I mean, if you're feeding your fish, 53 fish, if you're feeding them 3 times a day, cut back to once. If you're feeding them once and you're like throwing a giant handful of food in there, slow it down. Your fish don't need to eat as much as you think they do. Those are teeny tiny fish, literally 1 pellet, and they'll be fine. Let them go. Feed them lightly. Maybe go every other day. I know you're going to think they're starving. I promise you they're not. Go every other day until you get everything caught up. You could try the live bacteria products. I believe in them wholeheartedly. I think they're amazing. They work, so you could definitely try that because you have ammonia there. You've got something for it to feed on. Put the live bacteria in there, and it will work wonders for you. But what you have to do is let that bacteria catch up. That's the problem that you're having. Danny Weshy, hey John, KG Tropicals, have you heard of a parody song of Walk by Pantera called Algae here on YouTube? I have not, but that sounds interesting. Who doesn't love the song Walk? Forget about it. Let me tell you something. Danny Weshy. If it had been Philip Anselmo that was walking up those steps, I love Rob Thomas. But if it had been Philip Anselmo, there would be absolutely no way I wouldn't have stopped him. I absolutely would have, because I love Phil Anselmo. So I would like to see that. I'm sitting here trying to think of how it would go. It's called Algae. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that. Where did I stop here? Melanie Bellhammer received Sammy, my new giant beta, from you all, and he is gorgeous. Thank you so much for all your products and beautiful beta snails coming soon. We have tossed that around a little bit, that idea of snails. Maybe, but probably not in our current setup. The problem that we're having right now, and this is mostly, don't take this the wrong way, Lisa. You know I admire what you do every day, but it's mostly a Lisa problem, but it's not Lisa's problem. What I mean is she's only got so much space to work with. She's only got so much of an area that she can do her thing with the betas and with all of that, to start adding things like snails and things like that. There's just no room for that. So I shouldn't have said it was a Lisa problem. What I should say is more like it's a problem for Lisa that she doesn't have the space to do that. I can tell you right now, and I could say it without any doubt, she would love to do that, because that woman is a snail freak. And maybe someday we will. But right now, I understand they don't take up much room. You can put them everywhere and you can have them all over the place, and just, I get it, but we got to focus in on one thing at a time. We are packed to the gills. Yes, pun intended. Our facility that we have right now, where we store all of the products that we sell on the website, you can barely walk through it right now. And it actually has me a little frustrated and a little down, if I'm being honest with you, because there's really nothing I can do about it. We're not going to go rent a spot outside of the house. Not for our situation. I'm not saying that is a bad move. A lot of people do that, and it's, oh, Big Belly is Rico Stan. Is that true? That's funny. I take back what I said about Bob. Bob, if you're watching, you know I love you. And you also know why I would have thought that was you. But anyway, we need to expand our facility, and we can't do that right now. this is going to sound really weird, but we are ready to do it, but we can't do it because it's a long story. We're kind of in limbo right now with what we can do. Bottom line is we can't build a building on this property. We just can't do it. Not the kind of building that we would want to build. So we have to move, and we're not going to move right now unless we find a house right down the street, because we just had a kid start his senior year in high school 3 weeks ago, and we're not going to make him switch schools on his senior year, just getting started. Not going to do that. Her and I agreed to that long time ago that we were not going to put him through that. And I think it might have even been my idea to not put him through that. I don't know. I'll play the hero with that, but I'm not going to do that to him. But you know, he'll graduate. They get out of school in like May or something. It's crazy. So probably early spring, we'll start getting serious about, finding a spot that we can either move to that already has a building or build one. And maybe we can expand Lisa's setup and we can introduce snails into the mix. I would love to do that. Mark H. Williams, CTMA, thank you so much for the $5, my friend. I appreciate it very much. Felicia Heater, love the Higer clip-on lights, the best. I love them too. Used those for over a year before we picked them up for the website. Big fan of those. Super simple. Turn it on and it's there. Love that. Jeff H., Rob Thomas, and Carlos have just another song together. Don't remember the name. Can't wait to hear it. Yes, thermometer next time. Love us some KG. Yeah, sent him an empty thermometer box. Stupid things happen in this world. But yeah, I'd be interested in that too, because Carlos Santana, forget about it. He's a legend. And as far as I'm concerned, Rob Thomas is a legend now too. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the name. I have fun with this one. Loop Noop Hoopy Yoops. Hoop Yoops. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's so fun to say it that way. Thank you so much for the $2. And then LC. Axolotls. Have you ever owned them? My child wants to put one in the 40-gallon tank. Also recently found out balloon mollies are genetically modified. Is this bad for the species? And your thoughts on owning them? Thanks, J and L. I am very sorry to disappoint you. I have not kept axolotls. I think they are adorable. I think they are so cute. And I know every single person that I've talked to that does have them goes crazy for them. Like they are the coolest thing, cutest thing, most adorable pet you've ever had. And so, but I can't tell you anything about them because I've never had them. I know it is a different world than what we typically live in. So I would not be the guy to get your information from on them. Again, maybe someday. Another great song from Rob Thomas, by the way. Not maybe someday, but someday. But not right now. Balloon mollies, I have not. I don't like them personally. Yes, they are genetically modified. However they do it. I personally am not a fan of the way they look. But I love blood parrots, and a lot of people hate those. So I get it. We all have different opinions on things. I do see the appeal for children. Isn't that what you said? My child wants to put one. Oh, wants to put an axolotl. Okay. So your child doesn't have anything to do with the balloon mollies. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's them. Regardless, it doesn't matter. The problem that I have with those is the same problem that I have with glowfish and with balloon rams and all of the genetically modified fish, animals. I don't know why I scream into this microphone. I don't need to. You're right here. I can talk in a normal voice like this, but for some reason when I'm by myself, I scream and my throat gets worn out. What I don't like about those is that they're making a product that's like candy, like balloons. It's to draw the children's attention. I want as many kids in this hobby as possible. But what I don't want is children that say, Mommy, I want that. Mommy buys it, and it basically sends the fish to their death. It's one thing if Mommy set up a tank and said, okay, Junior, when you get A's on your report card, we're going to go pick out fish. Junior gets A's. Mommy's working with him or Daddy's working with him, and they work together and they're raising these animals. That, I think, is amazing. And I think that's what's going to build the future of our hobby. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. It's more of, I'm going to buy this for you just to shut you up and just to get you to do something that doesn't involve the television or the telephone. But I'm not going to have anything to do with it. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. And a lot of animals die because of that. So that's what I struggle with the most. It's kind of a deliberate thing to attract children. Look, I got 5 kids and 2 grandkids. So don't call me somebody that's just hating on kids, because I'm not. I got a lot of them, and I love them, and they're awesome. And I had them when they were little. And I know if we had left fish, if we left them responsible to take care of fish and never checked on them, we'd have had a lot of dead fish. Do you remember the video I did, A Horror in King George? That was real. That was not set up. We failed just as much as they did as she did in that situation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a fun video that I did. That was one of our kids had a goldfish tank, let the water get way down, and it was a big nightmare. And I made this really funny video about it. Made it almost like an episode of 48 Hours. Some of the most fun I've ever had making a video. Loved it. And that's what it was about. It was about our failures just as much as it was the kids. But anyway, totally off topic there and totally going off on that. But I don't like animals being bought to shut kids up. And I'm afraid that that's what happens a lot with the balloons and the glowfish and all of that kind of stuff. Every single time we've talked about that, we've gotten comments, how dare you say such bad things about glowfish? We're not talking bad about the fish. We're not saying we hate the fish. If I had a tank full of balloon mollies, I would think it was the coolest thing ever because they are kind of quirky and kind of derpy looking and cute. I don't hate the fish. I hate what the fish are made for. That's the problem that I have with it. So don't send those comments, please. Okay. I'm done. I don't have anything else to talk about. Lisa hasn't sent me any more. Wow. I'm caught up 7 minutes early. I don't think I've ever had that. That is crazy. I got to find something here. This is my least favorite thing for myself, is to not have anything to talk about. I mean, should I talk about Rob Thomas for another 7 minutes and then be done? No, that was really cool. Get a little head nod from him. Tampa Bay 14, Dallas 7. I like that. I probably should not talk like that when I'm going to Dallas, Texas in 2 months. There's a chance. No, they're not going to be there. Wonder if Dallas is home that weekend. There could be a Cowboy there, like a Cowboy football player. You know what I'm saying? And there's not one single member of the Dallas Cowboys football team that could not kick my butt. Every single one of them could kick my butt. So I need to watch what I say about that. That is something that I do for fun. I don't hate the Dallas Cowboys. I used to as a kid because I was kind of bred to hate them, but I don't really care anymore. It just is what it is. Bikers are stealing the show tonight. Yeah, he does he does that all day long. That's Goyle. And crab is the Lepradi, which you probably can't see. I don't know what's in camera and what's not. He's right there. And it's funny. Their personalities are so opposite. He's all over the place. And the Lepradi just kind of lays there like, yeah, I look like an alligator. I'm really cool. And I just lay here until food comes out. And then I go and snatch it up. And it's amazing. I'm asking around right now, and if anybody knows one, please let me know. I'm asking around to see if somebody has a decently sized ornate biker. I feel like that's the only thing that tank is missing, and there's room for it. It's 360 gallons. You can see the tank is not overstocked. I think that what that tank needs is an ornate. An ornate should be equally as active as the Enley is. He's all over the place. He's so much fun to watch. In the beginning, when I first got him, I was kind of scared. Like, is he unhappy? Is that why he's doing all of that? No, he's just very active. He's all over the place. And he's probably my favorite fish that I own. I absolutely love him. I love crab too. Crab and Goyle, that's their names. Figure it out. Crab's awesome too. He's an alligator that's in my tank, but he's not nearly as active. He's a lot of fun to watch eat because that's the best thing about bikers. You can call them bichars, call them whatever you want to call them. I call them bikers. It's my favorite thing to do is watch them eat. I sit down once a week and I cut up tilapia and I put it in Ziploc bags, and it's just so much fun to watch them eat. Whether it's pellets, whether it's freeze-dried shrimp, it doesn't matter what it is. It's fun to watch them eat. And if I get that ornate in there, that will be that tank will be done. I said that before. I said it's done, and it is done now. If I never get an ornate in there, I'll survive. But I sure would like one. Yes, I am in Virginia, Edward. But you can't come here. We are not open to the public. Whip's World pooped on us 3 poops tonight. Thank you for that. And Greg Witt with the $1.99. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Lisa sent one through here. This is going to have to be a quick one. I have a 55-gallon with African cichlid peacocks. There's 10 in there now, but I just bought 6 more and having them shipped to me. Should 16 be fine in a 55-gallon? Let's end this with some controversy, shall we? 2 minutes left. So when you want to tell all of your friends the controversial thing that John said, say, just fast forward till there's only 2 minutes left, and that's when he said it. You can put as many fish as you want in there if you're willing to do the work. Thank you, Wendy Hamlet. You got it. Harry Potter reference. You might not have been the first, but somebody else might have said it before you. But yes, you got it. 16 peacocks in a 55 is a lot. Peacocks are heavy poopers, heavy eaters, extremely active. They never stop. They're like Goyle all day long. Never stop. And so because of that, they foul up the water very fast. And they will foul up that water in a 55. It's not enough space for them unless you are willing to do lots and lots of water changes, because you're going to struggle keeping that tank balanced. You can do it. Just be prepared to be doing a lot of water changes. And thank you, Danny Weshy. Story time. I don't know how this happened. I am not afraid to admit I am a humongous Korn fan. Been a fan of Korn ever since 91 or whatever, whenever they came out. I was a fan of that whole nu metal scene. Still am. Big time. Love Korn. Whenever I work out, which is rare, that's what I listen to. Korn, Slipknot, Disturbed. Disturbed isn't nu metal, but you know what I mean. So the other day I'm scrolling through YouTube, as you do, and I see this thumbnail for a band. and my immediate thought was, oh, well, that's Korn. Because, I mean, it so obviously was. And then I looked at it a little closer and I said, oh, wait a minute, Jonathan Davis doesn't wear any face makeup. Like, what's that all about? And I'm looking at it closely, not paying attention to what it is. And I realize, oh, it's not Korn. It's another band. Okay, well, I got to know what that's all about. Click on it. And as I'm listening, the song is Korn. Did I talk about this last week? I don't think I did. Every single thing about this, as this song is playing, I'm like, that sounds exactly like Korn. The bass line, the drums, the guitars, everything sounds like Korn. I'm like, okay. And then the singer has dreads and he's banging his head like Jonathan Davis does. He's holding the microphone like Jonathan Davis does. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, wow, like this is not only a Korn tribute band, but they're a really good Korn tribute band. They sound really good. Like, wow. And then the singer starts singing and I'm like, what is this? A carbon copy of Jonathan Davis. I swear I talked about this last week, didn't I? I deleted the stream, so who would know anyway? So I'm listening to this and I'm like, this sounds so much like Korn, and it feels weird because it sounds just like them, but I also really like it. I really like it, and it sounds really good, and I was completely obsessed over that song. The band is called Chaosium. They're out of Switzerland. They are not a Korn tribute band. But there's no doubt they are definitely inspired quite a bit by Korn. They're awesome. I don't know what else to say about it. It is current music that sounds like new metal that was made in 1993. And they sound good. It is... I don't know what else to say. It's awesome. I like it. If you're a fan of Korn, type in Chaosium, Chaoseium, something like that. And the song is called Smile Again. It's a great song. Chaosium, if you're watching this, and I doubt you are, I love that song. I kind of feel dirty because I kind of feel like I'm cheating on Korn a little bit, but that's an amazing song. And I've listened to a few of the other songs too, and those are awesome too. So yeah, if you like that kind of music, give that song a listen, and I promise you will like it. It's really, really good. You might feel like you're cheating on Korn, but let me get through these real quick, and then we got to sign off of here, folks, because it is already 9:33. Whips World, love the show. Thank you so much, Zach Wild. LC, again, best, I think that means gravel vac. Mine broke. I'm a fan of Python, not being a salesman because you live in Canada. I can't sell them to you. I am a fan of the Python. It's the best invention that's ever been invented ever in this hobby. But when it comes to just your siphon gravel vacs, I don't have a preference. We sell the Python branded ones. They're really, really good, like all Python products are. But any of them will work. It really doesn't matter. But Python, you're not going to get any better than that. There you go. You're welcome. Melissa Jeswald, thank you for all your advice, and Crush, of course. And for Crush, of course. You are very welcome for that. Take good care of that little guy. I'm sure you are. That is going to do it for me, folks. Is everything okay with Rat Cross? Haven't seen anything from him in months. Yeah. I mean, I haven't talked to him in a while. But yeah, it's fine. He's just kind of moved on to other things. He got that big fancy pond, and I think he's just relaxing and enjoying life and watching the pond and watching the birds and all of that. So good for him. He earned it. But I miss that guy. Love talking with that guy. I would love to have him here again, just to talk with him. He's a great guy. I miss him. So there you go. Yes, thank you so much, folks. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself tonight. My throat is a wreck from screaming all night long, but yeah, it was fun, and I'm glad I got to. I'm glad I got to say what I was trying to say last week. So, hope you enjoyed it too. Hope you will come back and hang out with me again next week. I don't know if Lisa's going to be here, if it's just going to be me again. I don't know yet. Flying by the seat of our pants, but we will see what happens next week. But thank you all so much. Thank you for the mods doing all the hard work that you've been doing. Thank you, Lisa, for helping out today. It has been a blast. Thank you to all of you, and I will see you next week.